Geto Suguru walked up to the strongest sorcerer alive, the literal walking god of the Jujutsu world, and said, "Get in the box." And he did it!
I will never be over this.
But what if he didn't? What if Gojo looked at that prison realm, laughed and said, "Not today"? What if Satoru Gojo never got sealed in the Shibuya incident? Because here's the thing, the entire second half of JJK is basically built on one foundation: Gojo being gone. Strap in, because this what if is gonna go places.
Okay, first things first. If Gojo doesn't get sealed, Shibuya ends in under an hour. Like, we're not even having a debate here. Gojo spent most of his seal timeline just standing around, waiting for the prison realm to work. Freed Gojo? He would have gone ballistic. Remember, Gojo tanked Hanami, Choso, Mahito, Jogo simultaneously in the canon. He literally killed Hanami. The disaster curses, creatures that took whole teams of sorcerers to fight, were warm-up reps for him. Gojo clears the disaster curses in minutes. The whole Yuji watches Nanami die arc doesn't happen. Nanami lives. He deserved better anyway. This is where it gets interesting. Kenjaku knows he can't win in a direct fight. So, does he run? Does he try another gambit? Or does Gojo finally get to confront the thing wearing his best friend's face? The 1,000-year plan, Kenjaku's entire scheme, awakening the cursed spirits, manipulating Jujutsu society, merging humanity with Tengen, collapses at step 1. Nanami Kento, killed by Mahito after being already mortally wounded. Hundreds of civilians caught in the crossfire of the cursed spirit invasion. But here's the one that hits different: Nobara Kugisaki. In canon, Nobara gets hit by Mahito's idol transfiguration. Her fate is left ambiguous, but it's not good. In our AU, Gojo stomps Mahito before he ever gets close to her. Nobara just lives, goes home, makes fun of Yuji for crying again. Everything is fine. Nobara Kugisaki, the most swag character in the show, potentially living because one man didn't hesitate for 0.2 seconds.
I am not okay.
Here's where everyone makes a mistake when they think about this AU. They say, "Oh, Gojo's free. Good guys win. Roll credits." No, absolutely not. Stop it. Because the real final boss was never Kenjaku. It was never Mahito. It was never even the Jujutsu Society's corruption. It was always Ryomen Sukuna. And here's the thing. Sukuna is inside Yuji Itadori the whole time. Gojo being free doesn't remove that bomb. It just means the war changes shape. In canon, Gojo versus Sukuna was the fight of the century. Gojo gave Sukuna the most legitimate challenge he'd faced in 1,000 years. And even then, Sukuna won. Barely, but he won. In the alternate timeline, here's how I see it playing out. Gojo clears Shibuya. Kenjaku retreats or is killed. The culling game never gets initiated. Sukuna is still in Yuji, biding his time. The Jujutsu higher-ups are still corrupt. They'd still want Yuji executed. Sukuna's plan changes. He can't use the culling game chaos to body hop into Megami. He needs a new strategy. And Sukuna is patient. He's been waiting 1,000 years. He'll wait a bit longer. The final confrontation becomes inevitable. At some point, Sukuna takes control. And this time, Gojo is right there. The fight we almost got, but better. And fought on Gojo's terms. Yuji Itadori's character arc is built on loss. Every death he witnesses, Junpei, Nanami, Nobara, shapes him into someone stronger, harder, more resolved. He doesn't just get sad, he evolves through grief. He develops his Black Flash mastery during moments of pure emotional desperation. In a world where Gojo's presence prevents most of these deaths, Yuji might never unlock his full potential because he never has to. The safety net is always there. In canon, being forced to survive without Gojo made Yuji into someone Sukuna himself started taking seriously. That's insane. That's real character development. In the alternate timeline, Yuji might be more cheerful, less broken, but paradoxically weaker. The question this AU really asks isn't just, do more people survive? It's, at what cost to the heroes we love? If Gojo's free, Megami Fushiguro might be the biggest winner of this entire alternate universe. Here's what happens in canon. The culling game starts. Megami's sister Tsumiki gets caught up in it. In his desperation to save her, Megami does something unthinkable. He summons the 10 Shadows technique's most dangerous Shikigami, Maharaga, in a state of emotional collapse. And Sukuna, watching all this from inside Yuji, smiles. Sukuna had been eyeing Megami's body as his ideal vessel for a long time. In the alternate timeline, no culling game. Kenjaku is dead or neutralized. Tsumiki doesn't get trapped. Megami never breaks. Sukuna never gets his perfect opportunity. He stays in Yuji, and Megami gets to just be a sorcerer, a good one of the best. Growing alongside Yuji and Nobara, getting actually developed as a character. Imagine Megami having a character arc that doesn't end in body theft. Wild concept. Gege could never.
Here's where I give you my actual take, and it might be controversial. Gojo being sealed was the best writing decision in the series. I know, hear me out. The whole point of Gojo Satoru as a character is that he's too strong. He's the load-bearing wall holding up an entire system of sorcery. And the story is about what happens when you remove that wall. It's about whether the next generation can fill that gap. The alternate timeline where Gojo never gets sealed is a better outcome for the characters, but it's arguably a worse story. Stories need their protagonists to be tested beyond their limits. And you can't be tested when Satoru Gojo is standing right next to you. This is the same reason Dumbledore had to die in Harry Potter. Some mentors are too powerful to stay. Their absence is the story. So yeah, in the alternate timeline, more people live. The world's better, the heroes win. But maybe, just maybe, we don't get the story that made us obsessed with JJK in the first place. Wild, right? The worst thing that happened to these characters is what made their story worth watching. So that's the alternate universe. Gojo never sealed, Shibuya ends in an hour, most of the cast lives, Sukuna still has to be dealt with, but this time on fair terms. The world is better. The story might be less devastating, but honestly, after what Gege put us through, I think we deserve the good ending, at least in our heads. Let me know in the comments, which version do you prefer? The brutal, gut-wrenching story we got, or the alternate timeline where everyone gets to go home? If you say you prefer more suffering, I'm judging you, but also, same. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a like. It genuinely helps the channel more than you think. Subscribe if you want more JJK deep dives, anime theory content, and me yelling about fictional characters who deserve better. I'll see you in the next one. And remember,
throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one.